The Leafs are preparing for William Nylander to play in Game 4. Chris, we heard William Nylander yesterday saying should not be a challenge jumping back in at this time of year, at this point of the series. Kevin Shattenkirk, meanwhile, said, even when you're healthy, that first game is an adjustment in terms of the intensity and how physical it is. What are fair expectations for Nylander tonight?
I think sky-high expectations, frankly, are in order. The Leafs need him to be a game breaker. They need him to be one of their top players. I think because of maybe that initial ramp-up, we'll give him a couple shifts where he's going to have to feel his way back into the series. But, I think there could be some advantages to have not played in that time because, as he said, he was able to skate. So I don't think conditioning would be as much of an issue. And anything, he's more rested than some of the players who've been through these pretty physical first three games of the series. And so, Nylander has been someone who's performed so well for the Leafs in the last few playoff runs, and they need him to tilt the game in their team's favor. So unfortunately, you'd like to say, oh yeah, he gets one game or two games where he can figure it out. Just the reality of this situation is he's got to be very good right from the get-go.
The Boston Bruins have not officially confirmed their starter for Game 4, but Jeremy Swayman, the first goalie off the ice, expected to start. What do you make of Boston breaking their goalie rotation?
Well, it's something. The first time since February that one or the other goalie will start two games in a row for the Bruins. The last time it happens, it was Swayman. It didn't go so well, but that's, I think entirely different circumstances. Clearly, he is locked in right now, and I think he kind of forced this decision upon the coaching staff, the management team here, because of how well he's played. He's had the Leafs number even going through the regular season. It would have been insane. And I say this with respect. Linus Ullmark won the Vezina Trophy last year, had a very good season this year, and wasn't even, the reason that the Bruins lost Game 2 when he started. But, I think with the way Swayman, possibly has gotten into the Leafs' heads, as Jim Montgomery said, I think they have to give him that chance to go back out there. So, I don't know that it's the end of the rotation. Maybe you still see Ullmark at some point in the series, but, Swayman is going to take it and run with it, I would assume, as long as the Bruins keep winning with him in the net.
Swayman has won 6 straight against the Leafs. The last time Toronto beat him was the regular season finale in 21-22. Nylander scored 2 goals in that game. It was the regular season finale. Both teams were resting guys, but take it for what it's worth. All right, so with Nylander coming back, the Leafs had to make a decision up front. Someone had to come out. Nick Robertson is staying in, moving to the fourth line. Connor Dewar is out. What do you make of that?
Well, clearly the Leafs need to score more goals, right? And I think that, to me, we almost don't need to overthink why this happened more than that. Nick Robertson, with the puck on his stick, needs one chance to score a goal. And I know he's had a few chances in this series. In fact, one high danger, I would call it, in each of the 3 games so far, hasn't scored. But, he's not, stylistically a natural fit with someone like Ryan Reeves and David Kampf, who obviously do a lot of board battling and try to get in on the forecheck, trying to have, physicality be part of their game. But I think the one potential positive for Robertson is that if those players are able to win a puck, get it to him in somewhere in a scoring area, that he might put it in. And so I think that this really comes down to the fact that Robertson's skill set is that this is a team that only has, the one game in the last 11 or 10 playoff games where they got to 3 goals. They need to get to 3 or maybe even 4 to give themselves a chance to win this game. And so I think that's why it ends up shaking out his way. And as you pointed out to me, Robertson is the one Leafs forward who hasn't been on the ice in any situation for a goal against in this series. So far he hasn't been defensively concerning to the Leafs coaching staff.
Robertson, part of that second power play unit. The power play struggles have been well documented in this series, just 1 for 11, but the penalty kill hasn't been good either. And Joel Edmondson was saying this morning he feels like getting the penalty kill going is more important than the power play. What are you hearing about the Leafs struggling penalty kill?
Well, it's been the difference in the series, quite frankly. The Bruins blew up their power play units in Game 81 of the regular season. They put 5 goals in 3 games. Those 5 goals have obviously been crucial for them winning 2 out of the 3. The Leafs seem to be trying to talk themselves into it a little bit with their penalty kill. Even Sheldon Keefe this morning mentioning that they've had some big kills sort of in times in the game. 2 in the first period of Game 1, the one late in the game in Game 2 when they had a 1-goal lead and got them through it, even one early in Game 3. So they're trying to accentuate the positives, even though the numbers tell not a great story for the first 3 games. Nylander will play a little bit on the penalty kill, so there's another option. He's more of maybe a threat to go down the other end and put the Bruins back on their heels a little bit, not wanting to take any chances. But there's no way around it. If the Leafs penalty kill doesn't get better, we're close to the end of the season than they would like at this point in time. They need to find a way to have it be a positive, to have it not be something that's tilting the games towards Boston, because at 5-on-5 in this series, Toronto's looked pretty good through 3 games.
And TJ Brodie should help on the penalty kill. He led the Leafs in shorthanded ice time during the regular season. He makes his series debut tonight. Timothy Liljegren will be the odd man out on the blue line, and Coach Sheldon Keefe revealing that Liljegren has not been playing at 100%.